Hello, welcome back. I'm Ron. I'm always looking for new ways to streamline my FPV video process and shooting videos. Today I wanted to tell you something I'm doing and something you can do too to streamline your entire process. So to save yourself some time and make shooting your FPV videos faster, easier, more consistent across multiple cameras, specifically again the GoPros, this is something that's been around for a little while, but I haven't heard much about it, and it's worth, I would say, a recap. So if you're using any of the GoPro action cameras, specifically the newer ones, I would say 7 forward, and even the Hero 5 Session, you're in pretty good shape with this, as well as the GoPro 10 Black Bones, which is the one that I have here, that I use specifically for my FPV quads. What is it, you ask? Well, it's QR codes. They're sourced from GoPro Labs, and if you own any of these newer cameras, all you have to do is update your camera to the GoPro Labs firmware to make use of these QR codes. You can do things like camera motion triggers, USB power triggers, motion detection, so many more things as well. However, let me just clarify. If you're using the GoPro 10 Black, again, like I am here, then you do not need to download any firmware update to this particular camera. The GoPro Labs QR codes, they just work on the GoPro 10 Bones. And again, nothing to download. The QR codes just work for the Bones, straight out of the box. So in this video, I'm going to specifically talk about the GoPro 10 Bones, since that's the camera that I'm primarily using. However, this will work for the other newer versions of the GoPro as well. So here's the site you want to go to specifically for the GoPro 10 Bones. Once a QR code is created, you can scan the QR code from a laptop screen like I'm doing here, a mobile phone, or a piece of paper. And the only requirements are that the code should be a minimum of 1.5 inches or 4 centimeters in size, with the camera about 6 inches away as you're scanning. So the larger the QR code, the easier it is going to be to scan. And all you're going to have to do at that point is point the camera at the center of the QR code and hold it for about a second. And when the code is scanned, the LED on the back of the camera or front of the camera will flash twice, letting you know that it's scanned and it worked. That's it. Now, here's all the settings that I'm currently using with my GoPro 10 Bones. One of the more interesting features I'm using is the auto capture trigger. Great feature if you haven't heard of this. Now, specifically, the camera motion feature uses gyro and accelerometer information. Now, while the standard motion detection feature looks for changes in the image, this feature is only looking for motion in the camera itself. So the inertial measurement unit, or IMU, has a gyroscope and accelerometer for measuring rotation and linear acceleration. This can now be used to start and stop your recordings. So great for FPV or drone video use, where the GoPro will start recording automatically on takeoff, or stop the recording as soon as you land or when the motion stops. I've also got repeat on and a check mark next to make boot command on SD card. So this feature is on by default when the camera boots up. Now, because I have a dedicated GoPro 10 Bones camera for my FPV footage, I want camera motion feature on all the time. So all you have to do is power up the quad, power up your GoPro 10 Bones, and never ever have to worry about stopping or starting, hitting that record button. The stopping and starting is going to happen automatically. So the camera will start or stop recording upon takeoff or as soon as the quad lands. The feature works great. I've tested it multiple times and it's worked flawlessly each time. Now here's a quick demo I did inside because it's raining today and I couldn't get outside to fly to do the demo I wanted to do. So you can see in this test footage that as soon as I move the GoPro Bones camera, the phone app shows the recording starts right away. And then 5 seconds after I set the camera down, the recording stops. And you can set that value to whatever you want. I see FPV videos all the time where someone has either forgotten to hit the record or forgot to hit the stop record, which can sometimes corrupt the data. So those days are long behind us. And feel free to scan my QR code if you own a GoPro 10 Bones and want my settings and this feature enabled on your camera as well. Or build your own personalized QR codes for your own GoPro cameras. It's also worth noting that you can stack, yes, let me say it again, you can stack commands by pasting the code from another command into the additional commands field shown here. For example, let's say I want to stack the what's called larger chapters support command into my existing QR code. All I do is copy it from the original source code, paste it here, and we've just stacked commands within the GoPro camera. Oh, and before I go, some of you may notice that there's no shutter speed value on the screen. Instead, you have something called lock shutter. Now, it's a little confusing, but basically it's the same thing as shutter speed. But to avoid confusion, here's the formula to convert your shutter speed to your lock shutter value. Simply put, your exposure time equals frame per second times 360 divided by shutter angle. And you can see here, I've done some examples for you of the conversion. And most of the times you're just going to want to follow the 180-degree rule. So just lock that value at 180 degrees. But if you want more motion blur in your shot, you can always, increase or decrease those values as well. Again, I'm going to leave a link down below that explains this in a lot more detail. So I don't know why GoPro Labs did it this way, but again, more information down below if you're interested in understanding motion blur and the 180-degree rule. So I hope you found this information useful. And if you did, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video with others. It's always appreciated. Until next time, take care. We'll see you in the next video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them as best I can. Take care.